Before beginning my sermon, I would like to invite us all to imagine the first body of water that astonished us. What is a body of water? A river, a lake, an ocean, a sound, for instance, a sea. What is a body of water that we come back to that always inspired us, that we love, that we have a deep love for, that we feel responsible for, perhaps? I want to invite us to think about that for a second, and then when you have the name of a body of water, I invite you to shout it out. Lake Superior.
Hood Canal.
Good, Hood Canal? Hood Canal. Mississippi River, Salish Sea. Madison Falls and Pacific Ocean. San Francisco Bay. Caspian Ocean, or sea, I think. Maurican Coast? Or Oregon Coast, thank you. Snake River, Lake Michigan. We invoke, say again. Deschutes River. The Deschutes River. Atlantic Ocean. With those bodies of waters, we invoke the name of the God whose spirit moved upon the waters at the beginning of creation. This sermon actually is a poem titled Rain on Me, and is written in response to many climate scientists announcing the beginning of the Anthropocene era, the first era completely determined by a single group of living organisms on the world, is the era of human-influenced climate. God is water, and water is freedom. Not free dominion over living things, the great myth we humans use to break the world and sate our desires with no responsibility and all arrogance. We capture the water of life, restrict its flow, control its natural nourishing, to claim the earth as our own. By commodifying water, we displace the divine, sacrifice salvation for a couple extra bucks. And what is the result of our gold-driven greed when we make water something to be used, something to be consumed, something to be sold? Ask the drying Rio Grande. Ask the declining Lake Mead. Ask the salmon struggling to survive. Ask the countless number of people, animal, plants, fish, birds, shared web of life who thirst for water withheld when we turn water into profit, when we claim dominion over waters. The only freedom we gain is the freedom from God, and the death, desolation, and desertification of the earth freely given for flourishing. But when God is water, water is freedom. The blue freedom from the threatening thirsts for power, freedom from control, freedom from guarantees, freedom for survival, the freedom from needing to provide the means of our salvation, the freedom from needing to save the world. For water can do what we cannot. Water in its self-sufficient cycle creates the conditions for life to exist on this planet. Unique among our solar system, unique perhaps in our galaxy, water works miracles. Stand before the Salish Sea and witness the God who cannot be contained, the God who transforms amoebas into advanced civilizations, who nurtures every piece of life, from the kelp to the cod, from the orca to the otter, from the grizzly bear to the grizzly bearded faces of people seeking ways to save the earth, not realizing that the answer dwells in their own backyard. For when water is given dominion over the earth, the trees clap their hands with joy, for life flows abundantly everywhere. Water knows no scarcity. Water is omnipresent. Water makes resurrection a reality. Water cleanses without judgment. Water gives life freely to every creature as each has need. Water can be trusted to rule the world with equity. When water reigns, we have the freedom to live without price, without cost. Water delivers the abundance that allows people to transform from justification into creation. Water gives us the freedom to live. Because God is water, and water is freedom. When water runs free, all are baptized in the saving grace of Jesus Christ and the living presence of the Holy Spirit. For Christ died for all, so that the rivers of salvation, the waters of life that quench all thirst, may run rampant across the world, introducing all people to the freedom to live that only comes from the God of chaotic waters. Because when a person has access to water, they have access to faith. And when a person has access to faith, they have access to freedom. And when a person has access to freedom, they transform from a person to a people. And when we are a people, there is no act of love that we cannot perform. But water is made into a scarcity by human intervention, by a legacy of colonization, by a history of humans who fear freedom because it will deny them profit in this age of drying, of desertification, of people thirsting. Freedom erodes, faith declines, people are abandoned as persons, everyone out only for themselves. We must ask whether water shall continue to be restricted, whether God shall continue to be restricted. Or will we let rivers run wild with righteousness? Will we break dams and let lakes live? Will we allow oceans to reign above human powers? Will we let justice roll like raging waters and righteousness flow like an ever-flowing stream? Will we treat water as God, and will we treat God as water for the freedom of our world? Will we claim the water of life? Or as instructed, will we come to the water of life, wading with humility in the troubled waters of God that can transform a dying world into a world of abundant, priceless life for all? Because God is water, and water is freedom.